What's up, everybody? Thanks to those joining me live and to those that will be joining me on archive. DStyleBoxing here. Um, let's go ahead and talk about the career of Miguel Angel Cotto. Miguel Cotto retired after his last fight. More likely, it looks like he is going to retire. Looks like this is his last year, especially after the loss. I really don't see what else Miguel Cotto has to prove, but really offer the sport of boxing. I think his days in the sport are pretty much done. A couple of things here. We'll go over his career in a moment, but I felt the Miguel Cotto fight with Saddam Ali. I think it was a good fight. I did give Cotto about 4 rounds. You could argue 5 rounds, so you could argue it was a close fight, but clear who won. I think it's pretty clear who won the fight. Um, I'm not too sure about the box strike numbers. I think Saddam Ali definitely outlanded him a lot more. But at the end of the day, I think it was a good fight. He didn't embarrass himself on the way out or anything like that. It was a competitive fight, but he definitely lost to someone who many were favoring him, to beat. That's what happens when you have an aging fighter, a fighter that's been through so much throughout his career, and he's just a maybe not in age, although he's up there in age, but it's just the wear and tear of a fighter. Is something you have to keep in mind. It's not always a number; it's the wear and tear. Ring years. The first time I saw Cotto was when he was defending his WBO super lightweight title against Randall Bailey. This was back in 2005 or late 2004. I forget, right? Um, it was a championship that he beat Kelson Pinto for, right? And then he kind of went through a run here. Had his fight with DeMarcus Corley. He had a little bit of trouble there, but he obviously overcame it and knocked out Corley. Um, I remember the Ricardo Torres fight where, again, he was in trouble. He went down, but he got back up and finished Ricardo Torres. Um, that was a significant fight at the time. Okay, um, but the fight that's many saw him for the first time, I guess, would be maybe the Paulie Malignaggi fight, where he pretty much busted a Paulie in that fight, broke his orbital bone. Then he fought. Paulie was undefeated, by the way. Torres was undefeated. Quintana, when he fought him, defending, or no, I'm sorry, he won his first welterweight championship against Quintana. Quintana was undefeated. Just it was just a big fight at that time. Yeah, I believe he fought Judah after that. Um, Controversy with, you could say some low blows there. Judah did hurt him, but I think you're seeing a pattern here. There's a lot of fights where he was getting hurt. You know, and it's just did it happen just in one fight. You know, and Cotto got hit a lot with shots he did not see coming. And he did get hurt a lot, but it made for exciting fights though. He fought an aging Shane Mosley. It was in 2007. This was before Shane Mosley, became champion again. But I think that was a real good victory. I think people were split on that fight. I was relatively new to YouTube. I believe that was one of the very first fights I covered here on YouTube, and it was Shane Mosley versus Cotto. It was a big deal when that fight happened, and I remember the boxing community at the time being pretty split on who won that fight. And I remember being on the Miguel. I thought Miguel Cotto won the fight, but it could have gone either way. But nonetheless, I remember the Alfonso Gomez fight. I mean, he just totally destroyed him. I think he landed like 60 some punches in one round. And then, of course, came the Margarito fight. Um, at the time, Miguel Cotto was considered a slight favorite, although there were some people picking Margarito to win. And turned out Margarito won. And as we later on learned, Margarito was busted for illegal hand wraps in the fight with Shane Mosley. Made me suspect that if he was caught then, why wouldn't he have been caught when he, or used it, that is, when he fought Miguel Cotto? And it's always a controversy, right? Did that ruin the career of Miguel Cotto? I mean, we'll never know for sure. I know Cotto came back, fought Michael Jennings for a vacant title. I don't know why, but he did. Michael Jennings was okay, nothing special. He had a fight with Joshua Clottey where he had a nasty cut. Many felt Joshua Clottey won that fight. It was actually one of the few fights that you could actually call exciting for a Joshua Clottey fight. But I felt Clottey edged it out, but the decision was rendered to Miguel Cotto, and that set up for the Manny Pacquiao fight. I did have Manny Pacquiao winning that fight at the time. Looking at his fights with guys like Torres and even Malignaggi for a moment, son Cotto, because he has fast hands. And I remember there was just some other fights there. Judah hurt him. I just felt like Pacquiao, who at the time was just destroying dudes. I mean, I just felt that he was going to just get the best of Miguel Cotto. I thought he was going to stop him in the mid rounds. He ended up not doing that, although he did knock him down twice. But it did go to a 12th round where they stopped it by TKO. Controversial stoppage, but nonetheless, Manny Pacquiao clearly won that fight. This was 2009. Here's a significant part. Many of us felt Cotto was done. We're in 2017. Like in 2009, the consensus was Miguel Cotto is done. Like, this dude's done. He's damaged goods. Just took a beating by Pacquiao. Look at Margarito did use the illegal hand wraps, fucked him up, and that's basically when Cotto moved up in weight to 154 pounds, defeated Yuri Foreman, although Yuri Foreman did have a fucked up leg, but he beat him nonetheless. He won a fight against Ricardo Mayorga. And then he defeated Margarito in a rematch. It's hard to believe that was all the way back in 2011, but it was. It's hard to believe that it's been that long. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, but it has. And then he fought Floyd Mayweather. Okay, he did avenge his loss to Margarito. Margarito's eye was all fucked up. Shouldn't even have been fighting. Not just because he cheated, but because that eye is just fucked up. But Floyd Mayweather Jr., Cotto, this was in May of 2012. Again, I can't believe it's been that long. Like, it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but it almost feels like the last 5 years just kind of flew by. Like, the years just fly by when you get older. Like, what the fuck's going on? But anyway, I remember that fight, and even though Mayweather won, and I believe he won, I gave him 7 rounds in that fight. It was a close fight. It was competitive, but I felt it was clear that Mayweather won, right? I remember Mayweather hurt him too with an uppercut. I don't know. Was it an uppercut? It was in the 12th round. I know you hurt him. But anyway, that was not only it was an exciting fight, but it was surprising because even though Miguel Cotto lost, the talks of him being done and damaged goods and all that, those talks went away, and it gave him another career, and that's the career that followed. After losing to him, he did fight Austin Trout. Ironically, lost that fight. It was competitive. I felt Trout did win that fight, but he moved on. He got with Freddie Roach. This was in 2013. Again, doesn't feel like it's been that long, but it has. I remember when he fought Austin Trout, I went to go see a cousin box in Las Cruces, and me and my cousin ended up going to his house. We recorded it, and then we watched the fight. And it doesn't feel like it's been that long. It doesn't feel that way. Trout, obviously, I felt beat Cotto. I thought it was a competitive fight, but in getting with Freddie Roach, it just feels like you know it was expected that he beat Dalvin Rodriguez, and then Sergio Martinez. I thought Sergio was going to beat the shit out of Cotto, right? I did. And honestly, if his leg was not fucked up, I honestly believe he would have beaten the shit out of Cotto. But his leg was fucked up. It's not Cotto's fault, right? Cotto did what he had to do. Cotto beat Martinez. That was for the WBC strap, and who many call the Lineal Championship or whatever. Um, then he beat Daniel Gill. What was that, like mid-round knockout? He fought Alvarez after that. This was in 2015. I was in Phoenix when that fight happened. What I remember about that fight, I had a hard time in Phoenix, Arizona, finding a location to watch the fight. I found one bar in freaking. I was in Scottsdale. I found one bar. There was probably some other ones, maybe, but I found one that had the damn fight. Um, Maybe I have to go to another part of Phoenix. Who fucking knows? Okay, but I was over there and saw the Alvarez fight. I thought Alvarez won a competitive fight, and then I think after that, Cotto didn't really do anything. I think that's why when I kind of think of his resume, the reason it feels like it wasn't that long ago is he didn't do anything for 2 years. I mean, he didn't fight again. He didn't fight in 2016. He didn't fight till he fought Kamagai. What was that, in August? It was the same night that Mayweather fought Conor McGregor. It just feels like a lot of this just happened not that long ago, but it's been a while. But there you go. I mean, he beat Kamagai, and then he lost to Saddam Ali, and that's that. I mean, that's. If I'm not mistaken, if we're gonna go back to Miguel Cotto's career really quick, let me pull this up. In 2003, Cotto won a vacant WBC International Super Lightweight title. In 2003, he won a vacant NABO title. In 2004, he won a vacant WBO Super Lightweight title. In 2006, he won a vacant WBA title. In 2009, he won another vacant WBO title. I never heard of World Boxing Board, but apparently he won that vacant title. Okay. And then he won against Kamagai, he won a vacant WBO title. I know you guys have seen a pattern here, and this is nothing against Cotto, but it's I don't know if you see a pattern with some of these organizations and certain fighters. You know, like there's always that pattern. Although the WBA was there too, but it looks like the only title that he ever won that wasn't from a champion was Sergio Martinez. You know, which is it's just astonishing. I'm not trying to trash your career or anything. He had a phenomenal career. He has a great resume. I mean, let's go through the resume really quick of Cotto here. I mean, and then in perspective and what point of the career he was in. So, Rocky Martinez, Livermore Indu, Randall Bailey, DeMarcus Corley. This was back when he was just up and coming dude, man. Just a brand new champion. Ricardo Torres, Paulie Malignaggi, Carlos Quintana, Zab Judah, Shane Mosley, Alfonso Gomez, Antonio Margarito, Brian Jennings, Joshua Clottey, Manny Pacquiao, Yuri Foreman. I guess you could say Ricardo Mayorga, Floyd Mayweather, Austin Trout, Dalvin Rodriguez, I guess. Sergio Martinez, Daniel Gil, you could put him there. Saul Alvarez, and then of course this year was Kamagai and Saddam Ali. But pretty impressive resume. This is a very impressive resume of Miguel Angel Cotto. All right. A couple things that I wish would have gone different for Cotto. Two things. All right. Number one, I do wish that the Mayweather fight with Cotto would have happened back in 2006, 2007, even 2008. Like I kind of wish the fight would have happened then. I think that would have been a big fight at welterweight. And I think it would have been more significant than their fight was at 154. That's one thing. Another thing is I do wish that he was better prepared for that Pacquiao fight. Now, I don't think Cotto would beat him anyway. I think ultimately Pacquiao would have won that fight, but I do wish there was no catch weight for that fight. That's just my personal opinion about that. But aside from those two things, I think everything else. You have to question some of these. Like I don't mind because I'm somebody I don't mind seeing fighters test themselves against whoever, right? And it's one of the reasons people like Cotto, but you have to question the decisions to fight Austin Trout, and you have to question the decision to fight Saddam Ali in the last fight. But aside from that, man, I mean, you can't really hate on the guy. I mean, I think I think retiring is the right choice, and I look forward to seeing him in the Hall of Fame, man. I really do. He'll be in the Hall of Fame alongside some other great fighters like Vladimir Klitschko retired this year. So, it's going to be a great class 5 years from now. See if I can pull this up here. And Mayweather really is retiring too. I mean, he'll be in that like you'll have Mayweather, you have Vladimir Klitschko, you have Miguel Cotto. Who else is retiring? Like I feel like I'm missing somebody. I don't know if Pacquiao's done or not. I'm not sure, but if he is, he'll be in it too. Shane Mosley retired this year. That's crazy, man. Like that's insane. It's a hell of a class, man. They're all first ballot Hall of Famers too in my book. Try to pull up the chat really quick. Trying to think of my favorite Miguel Cotto, my personal favorite Miguel Cotto fight. If somebody forced me, I don't know. I'm not sure if I have a fight. Like my favorite Miguel Cotto fight is actually probably the Mayweather fight, ironically enough. But it's between the Mayweather fight or damn. The Zab Judah fight was good too, but I don't know. DStyle definitely a sad day for boxing fans that has been around the YTB since 2007 during Cotto's prime days, says Borges Production. Bernard Hopkins, that's right, bro. Yeah, Bernard Hopkins. But isn't Bernard Hopkins more like 2000 and 2016? Oh, no, he fought. Oh, shit, he did fight this year. I forgot about that. I kept thinking Cole was his last fight. Yeah, he did fight this year. So we're looking at Miguel Cotto, Shane Mosley, Floyd Mayweather, Vladimir Klitschko, Bernard Hopkins. That's a hell of a class right there. And then those 5 guys, man. The crazy thing about those 5 guys is when you talk about those guys, like the only one really missing is Pacquiao, because those 5 guys that I just mentioned, Mayweather, Cotto, Mosley, Klitschko, Hopkins, all right, have been significant to boxing talk on YouTube, right? Those are guys that really, so their best days were, when there was boxing talk on YouTube, right? Many of us have had channels and talked about those 5 guys. That's the significance of those 5. It's just there's also Marquez, and there's some other guys, right? But then you think about, well, those 5 guys had to get in, and this is what I was saying about the whole Arturo Gatti thing. They snuck Arturo Gatti in a pretty relatively like slow year, right? They didn't have like this many dudes 5 years away retiring. Okay, that retired 5 years before that day. That is, so they kind of snuck him in there because I think they knew, like, if we don't get Gotti in now, look at a lot of these dudes that are retiring. Gotti will never get in. There's no way Arturo Gotti would get in with the 5 names I just mentioned. There's just no way, right? I believe if he's not already in, Vitaly Klitschko should be in pretty soon. I mean, I'm not sure they voted him in or not. I'm not sure when they're going to announce it, but he should be first ballot Hall of Famer. We'll see. Okay, but anyway, that's just side stuff, and I still feel like I'm missing somebody. But now Marquez did announce his retirement this year, but now that I'm thinking about it, I believe they go by the last fight you had, not when you announce your retirement. So I think Marquez should be in the Hall of Fame pretty soon. Like, when was the last fight? Can somebody in the chat put when Marquez's last fight was, really quick? Was it the Alvarado fight? Yeah, they had to have fought this year and then retired. So the Torres fight was good. So I put in the chat that I like the Torres fight. The cool part about the Torres fight was when Torres knocked him down. If you go back and you look at that fight, Cotto went down, did not take his eyes off of Torres. Like he did not take his eye off of him, and he gave him like man, when I get up, I'm gonna beat your ass. Look, that's kind of what he did. He gave him like oh, you're gonna knock me down, right? Okay, that's how it is, and he just got back up and then proceeded to beat his ass. But that's what I liked about that fight. That was a cool moment. The Alvarado fight, all right. I'm kind of too lazy to look up what year that fight was, but I'm thinking 2014. So Marquez should be in the Hall of Fame pretty soon, maybe 2 years from now. I don't know what to make of this whole wait 5 years thing, but like to me, if a guy's an obvious Hall of Famer, just put him in. But whatever, got to wait 5 years. Yeah, He showed a lot of heart in that fight. Yeah, he did. I'm not sure when Mosley last fought. I believe it was last year. So Mosley will actually be in 4 years from now, not 5. So maybe the class won't be as big, but but still, okay. But still, there are some names that haven't been voted in though that they can get in. So by all means, I know that a lot of people will disagree with this choice, but Gerardo Hernandez. If Arturo Gotti is in the Hall of Fame, then Gerardo Hernandez should be in the Hall of Fame, right? And it'll be kind of cool if they could get him in the same year that Mayweather gets in. That'll be kind of cool. So that was the first time Mayweather won a world title. So against Gerardo Hernandez. So that'll be kind of cool. But a lot of choices out there. A lot. Anyway, I am super freaking tired, and I'm running out of shit to say. So I said everything I had to say about the career of Miguel Cotto. Great career. So shout out to Miguel Cotto. Sure, I criticize him a lot for his choice of opponents like Kamagai and all that. But once the dude's retired, he's retired, and then once the good thing about when the guy retires, you get to judge him off of what he did his whole career. Whereas when they're active, I judge them off of what they did for me lately. So there's a difference, when I look at his whole career, I think it's been awesome, man. And that's all I got to do. That's all I got to say. Peace.